Paul Bunyan. Have you heard the story of Paul Bunyan, the greatest lumberjack that ever lived? Paul was so big as a baby, it took 5 giant storks to deliver Paul to his parents. As a newborn, Paul Bunyan could holler so loud he scared the fish out of the rivers and streams, and local frogs started wearing earmuffs so they wouldn't go deaf when Paul screamed for his breakfast. His parents had to milk 24 cows morning and night to keep his milk bottle full, and his mother had to feed him 10 barrels of porridge every 2 hours to keep his stomach from rumbling and knocking the house down. At 3 weeks old, Paul rolled around so much during his nap that he destroyed 4 square miles of prime timberland. Paul Bunyan grew to be a powerful giant. Some say he was 17 feet tall with a stride of 7 feet. He was so powerful that no man could successfully oppose him. So great was his lung capacity that he called his men to dinner by blowing through a hollow tree, a blast so strong that it blew down the timber on a tract of 60 acres. And when he spoke, the limbs sometimes fell from the trees. No undertaking was too great for Paul. Lumberjacks said that he was the man who logged the timber off North Dakota. He also scooped out the hole for Lake Superior. Paul Bunyan's kitchen was so extensive that 10 square miles were cleared bare each week to keep up the fire. His stove was an acre long, taller than a pine tree, and when warm, melted the snow for about 20 miles around. The men logging in the vicinity never had to put on their jackets when Paul Bunyan wanted flapjacks. It was quite a sight to see, that cook of Paul Bunyan's making flapjacks. He would send 4 of the boys up with a side of hog tied to each of their snowshoes, and they'd skate around up there keeping the griddle greased while 7 other men flipped flapjacks for Paul Bunyan. Took them all morning to make enough flapjacks to fill him up. By then, it was time to start making lunch. Paul wasn't only strong, he was clever. One spring, Paul discovered that he had no money on hand. He suddenly rushed into camp shouting that they had been cutting government pine and were all to be arrested. Each man panicked, seized what camp property lay nearest his hand, and ran off in every direction. Thus, Bunyan cleared his camp without paying his men a single cent for their labor. These were but a few of Paul Bunyan's exploits. The rest of the stories live in the land Paul changed forever, and in the people he touched along the way.